Hey everybody, and welcome to the End Channel video blog, and today what I want to review are side cutters. More importantly, Klein versus Knipex. Now they're both great brands, you can't go wrong either way. But now there are some innovations coming out of this side of the table that I'm really leaning towards. So let's get right into it. Now I just quickly want to point out the prices of these. The Twin Force by Knipex is $55.69 and it's made in Germany. And the Klein are manufactured in America and they are $21.74. So now the first thing I want to do is drop one of the Knipex pliers. And the one I'm going to be dropping is the larger one. And most of you are going to be saying, well, it's going to generate less power and it's going to give it to Klein. And you'd be wrong. This right here has 50% more cutting power than this one. And the reason why they're able to do that is because the fact they got two rivets. Now this is really unique. On your traditional tool, what you have is a single rivet. And from that point, that's where your fulcrum is generated. So the strongest point is actually on the rivet itself. But because there's two reference points here, it's actually moving the fulcrum point onto the blade, as you can see right there in its movement. And what that means is your strongest portion of your cut is actually going to be on your cut, which makes the most sense. But now there is some limitations to this design. And first off being, you can't open it as much as, let's just say, your Klein here. I mean, you can really open this up and cut some larger cables and stuff like that. But when you're actually trying to make more aggressive cuts on harder materials such as metal and all that, it's a little bit of a problem because you can't get right down to the end of the actual cutting edge. So you actually have to walk this up in steps, and that's when you're able to make these easy cuts. Now, the fact that you have to walk this up isn't that big of a consequence, and the reason why I say that, even though it's less convenient, it's the fact that when you're actually using this tool, that you're going to be generating that much more force. And what that means is you're going to have less damage to your body in the sense of ergonomics, because you're using less force to actually make your cuts. And that's a really huge deal when you're using this tool excessively, especially on the big cuts. Now, for just copper and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't go with this pair. I'd probably just go through standard pair of pliers for side cutters. And the reason is because they're going to be faster. But when you're actually going for those big monster cuts, this is the tool I'd be reaching for that alone reason. Now, the other thing they've done here that's really unique is they've casted the rivets into the handle. And they do this on both series of their pliers. And what that means is they're going to have less distortion on your rivets. So this tool is actually going to hold up longer than your traditional pair of pliers because of the fact there's less chance that it will distort from the handle itself, because it's got two reference points and they're actually integrated into the handle. Now, one quick little feature I want to point out is the ergonomics behind each one of these tools. Now, you can't directly compare this one to this one for the sense of overall comfort because I don't own the comfort grip handles on these. But if we compare them to the plumb pliers, I gotta admit, the Knipex just has a softer feel to them. It's a little bit nicer to work with. But there are some aspects I really do love about the Klein. First off, color coordination. Yellow and red. So when I'm looking in my tool bag, I can instantly tell the difference between these tools. And they do this for every one of their models. It's just a little subtle feature that I really like, because it makes you a lot more confident when you actually go to your tool bag and it's just like, I know what that is. Less time searching through your tools. Huge little detail, but it really does translate into time savings. The next thing I like is the fact that they flare out the handles at the bottom here. And what that means to me is that when it tapers to your hand so nicely and then flares out, you're not going to have a lot of chances of slippage. Where the Knipex actually does the exact opposite. It actually smooths out at the end. And to me, that just leaves the possibility of slipping, even with the extra torque that you can apply behind this tool. Now, the winner of this tool shootout is the Twin Force by Knipex. 50% more power is undeniably the most important aspect of this tool. That means you're going to have a lot easier time cutting materials as well as less strain on your body. Next is the fact that the rivets are casted into the handle. That means that they're going to hold up a lot longer than your traditional rivets, which are casted individually and then pressed into it. So that stronger reference point means this tool is going to have a lot more longevity than your traditional sense. Anyways guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.